Yo, it's Two Side Anime here, and I've been seeing a lot of discourse on Twitter. This discourse is about if Kishimoto is wasting his female characters within the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex series. And I'm here to say no, he isn't, and we have to be patient. I understand this is a monthly wait, and sometimes the pacing is hit or miss. I personally think the pacing has been perfect, but there's certain things we're just gonna have to wait for. So for today's video, we're gonna explore the topic if the female characters of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex are being wasted. So you know it's theory time. Just let me cook. From a narrative standpoint, everything that's taken place in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex actually makes sense, and here's why. All the characters that are not named Boruto didn't have the proper motivation to continue to train to get stronger. Yes, they train, but not on the level of Boruto. Boruto had to train and become the strongest shinobi ever because he foresaw the end of the world, and also everything that he loved and knew got taken away from him because of omnipotence. This is why Boruto's so strong. He had a great motivation to get stronger, and if you guys don't believe me, let's take a look back at the original series, Naruto Shippuden. At the end of Naruto Part 1, Sasuke went off with Orochimaru, Naruto went off with Jiraiya, and Sakura trained with Lady Tsunade. You look at these three characters, Sakura came back stronger than Naruto, as well as Sasuke. And before you guys jump down my throat and say Sakura wasn't stronger than Naruto when she first got introduced to Naruto Shippuden, I would like you guys to just go back and rewatch the series or reread it. Just look at everything Sakura learned from Lady Tsunade put her above Naruto for a brief moment at the beginning of the series. Naruto just came back with a Rasengan and somewhat better control over the Nine Tails. That's it. And that's because Sakura had a better motivation to get stronger. And Sakura didn't want Naruto to bear the burden of bringing back Sasuke. She wanted to become stronger to help out. Naruto was too focused on bringing back Sasuke home that he didn't really hone his strength. And we saw that at the Teen 7 reunion when Sasuke told Naruto, "You wasted all your time chasing me instead of getting stronger." And if we look at the GOAT Sasuke, his motivation was to defeat his older brother, one of the strongest shinobis that's ever touched the series. So he had a greater motivation to achieve his goal. What does this have to do with Boruto 2 Blue Vortex? Nobody in the series really had a good enough goal to get stronger outside of the GOAT named Boruto. Kawaki didn't train because he relied so heavily on karma he thought it would be a cakewalk. Mitsuki only trained to kill Boruto, but the Boruto he had in mind was the one that he last saw from 3 years ago. Sarada's whole purpose and motivation throughout the years was to convince Shikamaru that Boruto was innocent. Sumire is just a scientist. So when you look at these characters, the only characters that are really putting in work and working on their teamwork was Team 10. Himawari herself, she's new to the Nine Tails power. She'll become a powerhouse later on, but right now, the type of training she needs, she hasn't gotten. In Naruto Shippuden, how much Naruto needed training to control the Nine Tails chakra. With the introduction of the God Tree clones, everybody in the series now has a valid reason to get stronger and surpass their limits. Kawaki has been humbled, Sarada has been humbled, Hima was humbled. Every character in the series now knows that there's God level threats out there and they need to get stronger to even compete on their level. So Two Side, what does this have to do with if Hima and Sarada are being wasted in the 2 Blue Vortex series? First of all, I just want to throw out there, Chocho was the MVP of this arc. Just go back and reread and see everything that Chocho did to protect Hima and try to compete against Jura. She was the MVP, and she's a female character. So no, she's not being wasted. So that makes this conversation argument really, when you really think about it, there's no way that people actually thought Hima with a baby awakened Nine Tails was going to compete with the leader of the main antagonist group within the first 11 chapters of the series. Hima put up a great fight and she displayed her new powers well, and her design was fire with the Nine Tails. She literally looks like Kushina from Minato's one shot. So her losing the fight and being saved by Boruto doesn't waste her character in any shape or way or form, especially if you understand what's about to happen next. But I'm gonna cover that at the end of the video because I want to move on to the most controversial character that I've been seeing all the discourse on Twitter surrounding, and her name is Sarada. At the end of chapter 5 leading to chapter 6, we see a conversation take place with Boruto and Sarada, and Boruto explaining how Sasuke sacrificed himself or risked his life to save Boruto, so Boruto will protect his daughter. In this conversation, Boruto didn't have the strength to tell Sarada that there's a copy-paste version of her father running around that is evil because he was absorbed by one of the claw grimes. Conversation was cut short because of Mitsuki, and Kishimoto did this on purpose. Fast forward to chapter 10 and 11, Sarada finally meets Hidari. And finally meeting Hidari, she sees that he is a copy-paste version of her father and he knows the Chidori. Sarada, being a smart shinobi, has already started to put the pieces together, but why is this important to Sarada's character development? If you guys remember, at the beginning of Boruto Next Generations, it was Sarada who made Sasuke protect Boruto, and now she's seeing the consequences of her actions. This is very important because if you've been paying attention to the way Kishimoto's been writing this series, you know that Sarada is now the character that's about to go through her own character development. Since the introduction of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, Kishimoto will introduce a character, show you their conflict, and then later on expand upon that in the following chapters. We saw this with Boruto. We were introduced to Boruto, we couldn't figure out why he was so quote-unquote edgy until chapter 5, and we saw everything that took place. Chapter 1, we were introduced to Mitsuki. Mitsuki was questioning if Kawaki was his son to his moon. This wasn't expanded upon until we got Boruto versus Mitsuki. The same thing with Kawaki. Kawaki is now realizing that he's not the strongest character in the verse. There's a greater threat that can destroy Lord Seven, and that's the God Tree clones. Sarada now sees that her father is a God Tree clone, and now that her and Boruto are about to leave the village, Boruto's going to take her to see her father in the tree, the same tree we saw Boruto sitting under in chapter 4. All of this is going to give Sarada newfound motivation for her to get stronger, but also we're going to get that emotional moment that everybody is saying they need to see from Sarada. Sarada needs to see Sasuke in this tree. This is what's going to give us that moment that we're all been waiting for. And it's going to happen in the next couple of chapters. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people are jumping the gun. Yes, Hidari snuck her. The chapter before, she dodged Dori and by Ten Tails and Rinnegan power. So I'm going to tell you how the next few chapters are going to play out with Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Boruto is going to take Sarada and Hema with him to Orochimaru's lair, and then he's going to take Sarada to see the tree that Sasuke is encased in. And during this emotional moment, we're going to finally get Code versus Sarada. For some reason, I just feel like Sarada is going to fight Code because of what he did to her father. So no, Kishimoto isn't wasting Sarada. Just wait for the next couple of chapters and watch him cook up a generational character arc run for Sarada. If you guys enjoyed this short theory, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.